2 outs in the 5th inning. To Tolley here, and it is upstairs, ball 1. Shirley coming into tonight had walked 14 in 32 and 2/3 innings. But New Britain just will not chase out of the zone. Here's the ball 1 pitch. That's trickled foul up the first base side. But now a 20-pitch inning. The quickest last night was 9. And most innings went beyond 20.
Just great plate presence and discipline. You know, not to be chasing anything that is out of the strike zone or something that they don't like. Yeah, and you mentioned it too. Johnson didn't pitch a bad ball game, just threw a lot of pitches.
Runners lead off first and second. Tolley awaits the 1-1. That's down and away. 2 balls and a strike. With Jonathan Galvez, the left fielder, waiting on deck. This lineup is solid top to bottom. Here's the 2-1 from Shirley. Fouled out of play down the left side. So again, you go through this entire inning, there's been 1 swing and a miss. All the other strikes have been foul balls. I think maybe 1 or 2 taken, but most of the strikes we've had here have been fouled away.
Yeah, the early innings for the Lancaster pitchers in this series has been tough.
Here's a 2-2. Tolley fouls another one away. It's been the story of the series.
Yeah.
They will not hit into outs. I talked about that with Ross Peoples after last night's game. It's really been a pretty good show put on by the New Britain Bees. Their approaches are very good. They're just battling our pitchers, fending off those good 2-strike pitches. They're not swinging and missing. They're not taking them. They're fouling them away. And eventually, they're either drawing the walk or getting a pitch that they like. And that's the perfect approach to hitting. It's what everybody wants to do. 2-2, Shirley to Tolley, and that is lined out the center field, a base hit. Sanford has it get past him a little bit. No play at the plate anyway. Tolley with an RBI single in the first inning again, and it's 1-0 New Britain. And I'll tell you what, the way the New Britain Bees are swinging the bats right now, they're going to win a ton of baseball games. This is not that the Barnstormers have somehow let up or stumbled in the midst of this pennant race. I think they have run into, if you'll pardon the pun, a buzzsaw.
No, it's aptly worded, because they are just every aspect of the game right now offensively. I mean, these guys are just hitting top to bottom. Doesn't matter where it is in the lineup.
To Galvez, a strike call on a high fastball. It's 0-1. Jamar Walton, the right fielder, waits on deck. Both their left-handed batters have reached base this inning. Swing and a miss. That's been a rarity, but Shirley has Galvez 0-2.
So you talked to Ross this afternoon?
Yeah.
So what was
last night a little bit and
okay.
This afternoon. And
what was he more frustrated with? The lack of getting the key hit, or sometimes the base on balls?
The conversation was about the way New Britain is playing.
Okay.
It wasn't about the way the Barnstormers are playing. And New Britain is playing well. It's now up to the Barnstormers pitching staff to find a way to counter it. 2-2 on Galvez. But you can't get this team right now to chase pitchers out of the zone. They won't do it.
Yeah, they are really making Lancaster pitching work.
Long
innings.
Shirley's tried to get Galvez to climb the ladder here with 2 strikes. Won't do it. Now a line drive, base hit out the right. Up with this is Galen. Here comes Rogers home. The throw in, and Castile swings and misses on the tag. The run scores, and on to third goes Tolley. It's 2-0. It just continues. And Galvez with a great at bat. With the exception, I guess, of Davidson Romero here, everybody has had a great at bat.
And that's a great slide by Rogers. So many times you see somebody go straight in on the plate. He knew to take it wide because he saw that the throw was going to come home. That wide slide, we saw Castile just kind of swipe at it. If he goes straight in, maybe he tags him. But Rogers went wide with it and gets that second run.
Here's Jamar Walton, and he looks at one out of the zone. 30 pitches thrown by Tommy Shirley here in the first inning. 2 runs are on the board. Remember, he had 2 outs with just a runner at first base at one point. New Britain getting the 2 out hits. There's a ground ball. That's past the diving Hobson. It'll bring in another run. Jamar Walton singling in a man. That makes it a 3-0 ball game. And Manny Ramirez Jr., the designated hitter, will step in. Just a ground ball through the right side. Strings of singles in this series for New Britain. They're not always extra base hits. They really haven't had that many. They've had a couple of key home runs here, but just single after single after single driving in runs. Their numbers with runners in scoring position are insane in this series.
Yeah, this is a deja vu of game one.
Fastball is upstairs, ball one on Ramirez, and almost looks like Shirley is getting a bit frustrated out there. Swinging a foul ball back.
Now you mentioned this is the first series that the Barnstormers have lost at home. I mean, have they been swept in this series?
On the road.
On the road. Okay.
15 for 27 by my calculations, with runners in scoring position. Ground ball to the hole at short. Up with it is Frias. He'll go to third, and Coronado unable to hold the bag. So that could be an infield base hit for Ramirez, and it just keeps going on. They're now loaded for Vinny Sienna, and we're going to get a visit from Ross Peoples. They're placing the ball unbelievably well.
Well, that was the only play Frias had, but Coronado, obviously his first step was towards the hole to see if maybe he could get it, and he just couldn't get back to the bag.
He was off balance trying to get back there and was not on the bag clearly. Well, they'll give Ramirez a base hit on that. Vinny Sienna, who won it last night in the 10th inning, coming to the plate, and this is getting to be a pretty dire situation for the Barnstormers here tonight. Not only this game, not only the last two ball games, but the Long Island Ducks right now are the hottest team in the league. The Barnstormers go back to Long Island this weekend, and they're going to have what may be a very depleted pitching staff and bullpen going into that series. So I've always said about how one game carries over into another and has lasting ramifications. We're seeing it. Sienna gets a ball inside. Shirley cannot get the third out. 5 straight Bees batters have reached base here.
And the series is just snowballed.
1-0, and that's lined and caught by Frias. May have saved the day, or at least saved a chance. That's probably 2 more runs. Frias with the leaping backhanded grab, ending the inning. 3 runs across, 4 hits, and 3 men left for New Britain. Bottom of the first coming up, and the Barnstormers are already 3 down. There you see the Lancaster Barnstormers lineup for tonight. Grant Desmay back in action for the first time in 2 weeks. He's been on the shelf with an injury, but cleared and ready to go here tonight. Blake Galen again in the number 3 hole. He's been there just about every game for the Barnstormers. Vinny Siena's been moving around the infield. It's his 3rd start in the series at 3 different positions. He's had a heck of a series here. First pitch called strike in on Darian Sanford.
Who hasn't for New Britain?
They have had incredible numbers here this week. Sanford with a poke out to left field, and shielding his eyes from the glare is Galvez to make the catch. That is out number 1 on the fly out to left. Rico Noel will come to the plate. The downside of being Darian Sanford is that ball's caught. If you've got more power, that ball drops in for a base hit. And here is Noel, the league's leading hitter. Incredible stat on Noel is that he has not gone back-to-back games without a hit yet this season. 376 is average. First offering from Lara is a bit inside for a ball, 1-0. Randy Lara was deadly to the Barnstormers last year with Bridgeport. He made 6 starts. He was 3-1. And his ERA 2.29. That is hit pretty well by Noel, but it'll be tracked down underneath is Galvez. He has both putouts in this inning. Lara is getting the outs quickly, which is what the Barnstormers pitchers haven't been able to do in this series.
No, it has been a
pitches
struggle.
look good. They look tempting. But the Barnstormers hitting into outs. Blake Galen steps in. Galen, 273, 6 homers. He's knocked in 35, 2nd in the league. He's knocked in a run in 7 of the last 8 games. Takes a strike from Lara here. It's 0-1. The Barnstormers, I think, have an offense that's going to, over the long haul, be pretty steady. You're going to see 3 to 7 runs a game out of this ball club, and right in the middle the last 2 nights, the Barnstormers have scored 5 each game. That's not enough right now. Not the way New Britain's swinging the bats.
No.
And somehow the Barnstormers have got to figure out Lara this evening as he goes to 1-2 on Blake Galen. Casey Hobson waiting on deck.
Yeah, unfortunate for Lancaster, they're playing New Britain at the wrong time because they are just ripping the ball in every aspect.
It started against Somerset in the last series. They took 3 of 4 from the Patriots, and they've come in here and taken 2 already, up 3-0 in this ball game. No sign of a let-up in their attack. 2-2 to Galen. That is strike 3 called on the outside corner. And for the Barnstormers, a 1-2-3 inning at the plate, nothing across. And a 1. New Britain has this one 3-0. It is Thursday night at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Not a promising beginning for the home team whatsoever. Tommy Shirley got to 2 outs and a runner at first base in the first inning, and then the floodgates open. with a walk and then 4 straight singles. He misses low and in the Darren Ford, who bunted into an out, starting off the night. That first inning looked promising for Shirley. Now a line drive and another single. Sliding behind it, Sanford. He'll come up firing. Ford is aboard.
Yeah, that first inning lasted almost 15 minutes.
36 pitches I had, and probably a little bit short. Darian Sanford hustling over to keep that from turning into a leg double. Now here is Brignac, who walked back in the first. And New Britain has put on a sensational show in this series. Breaking ball misses. It is 1-0.
Now, unfortunately, they're going to play Somerset. Too bad they're not playing Sugarland the way they're hitting right now. We could use them to take that offense against Sugarland.
Ford takes off, pitch high and inside. Castile's throw is going to be late at second. A steal for Ford, his 10th. And a 2-ball, no-strike count on Brignac. Well, what does Ross Peoples do in this situation? He can't afford to pull Shirley early. Too much of the bullpen's been needed the last couple of games.
Yeah, this is one he's just going to have to grin and bear it and try and work out of it.
He misses high, 3-0.
Unfortunately, I'm not keeping a track of balls and strikes. But it's
I'll be able to
a lot out
pull
of the
it
strike
up,
zone.
assuming I can read the computer screen, which may be a challenge at the moment. 3-1. Now on Brignac. Runner already in scoring position. And Romero and Rogers are the next two. The fun of it all. There's a walk. That is the third base on balls issued by Shirley. So you look at it now, and 7 of the last 8 New Britain batters have reached base. It's hard to fathom exactly what has gotten into this New Britain offense. But they have come in here with maybe the best 1 through 9 in the lineup approach I've ever seen. I mean, we've seen Somerset over the years do this. Sugarland, to some extent, was able to do this on their first trip, force deep counts and a lot of pitches, but never batter after batter, inning after inning, as we have seen the 3 games of this series. Here's Davidson Romero. He struck out swinging his first time up, and that has been an incredible rarity in this series. Infield looking to turn 2, Shirley to the plate, and he fires a strike. It is 0-1. Well, Tommy Shirley throwing his 44th pitch there, and 24 have been out of the zone. He has walked 3, he's allowed 5 hits. 1 strike to Romero. Shirley comes back, and he's down and in. Ball 1, strike 1.
And in this case, 2 of the walks that he has allowed came around and scored. Just shake your head.
Way upstairs. He's gotten completely out of rhythm, and I think Shirley is in that mode of thinking that he simply doesn't know what to do out there. If he puts the ball in the zone, it's getting put into play on the line somewhere, no matter where it is in the strike zone, or it's getting fouled off and the next ball is lined somewhere. Oh, he is completely and utterly out of rhythm. 3-1.
Matt, if you're going to get beat, I'd rather get beat by seeing them hitting the ball, because you never want to give up a free pass. I mean, I shouldn't say never. There are times that strategically it's not a bad idea.
This is not one of them.
No, this is not.
Here's a 3-1 pitch, grounded foul. Again, it's a foul ball. It's not a swing and a miss. It's not a take. Everything in the zone, contact is made. Everything out of the zone is being taken. It's been that way for 3 straight games. I say everything. Okay, don't say always and never. Most things. 3-2, and the payoff pitch, chopped foul. And the drumbeat continues.
That's another wasted pitch. Boy. And then you got Rogers on deck.
Romero bats 3-2 once again. Shirley comes back. Ground ball, third base. That is taken in fair territory by Coronado. He gets the out at third, and that's it. His throw to second is wide. Brignac is safe there. Romero's safe on the fielder's choice. Lancaster picks up an out. Coronado stepping on the bag, but his throw pulling Noel off. I don't know if it was going to be there in time anyway. We'll take a look. Yeah, it was. No error will be charged because an out was recorded on the play, but he had the chance to turn two. It wasn't going to be a triple play, although it was in that neighborhood.
Kind of surprised he went to second, not to first.
In a sense, yes. Another chance for the Barnstormers. Grounded to Frias. Out. Noel back to first. Double play. Tommy Shirley pitches his way out of the thorn bush here in the second inning. Gets the 3 outs in a hurry. 1 hit and 1 man left. So we'll go to the bottom of the second. Still 3-0 New Britain. Folks on the lawn tonight here in Lancaster, hoping to see the Barnstormers mount an attack of some sort. Casey Hobson steps in to lead off the lower half of the second. Has a 1-ball count already. Rainey Lara comes back. Hobson with a swing and a miss. 1-1. Casey 1 for 3 with a couple of walks last night. Left-handed slugger. One of the better home run hitters we have had here over the years. Fouls this one off, and it's 1-2. He only had 50 at-bats in the Eastern League this year. He was sent to Richmond late. He was at extended spring. So in a sense, he was facing some live pitching down there, but I don't know it's quite the same.
No.
He had 11 hits, 3 of them home runs. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Lara has retired 4 in a row, 2 on strikes. Now Ryan Castile, the catcher, to the plate. Castile, 328. And I still find it amazing that Castile has the numbers he has without a 3-hit game. At any point this year, he has 11 2-hit games, never a 3rd hit. 2 of those hits came last night. Lara into the motion. And that is upstairs, a ball, 1-0. Trayvon Robinson, the left fielder, scheduled to bat next. Barnstormers need to get some offense going. Castile now with a fly ball to deep right. Way back. This one goes, and the Walls will not contain it. Ryan Castile with his 7th home run of the year. He goes to the opposite field, and the Barnstormers are indeed on the scoreboard.
Well, Lara left it up in the zone, and Castile went up with it and just launched it.
Castile with the home run to the opposite field, and the Barnstormers pull within 2. That brings on Trayvon Robinson, the switch hitter. Robinson homered off of Lara in the game at New Britain back on May 16th. Castile was 0 for 3 against him. Robinson will look to springboard after that home run. Pitch is low, a ball 1-0. A lot of guys will bunt right here. Follow the home run with a bunt, try to get the team back on its heels.
Well, New Britain kind of thinking that because Romero up near the cutout.
Popped up by Trayvon Robinson. Chugging over is Romero toward the tarp. He won't have a play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Castile with his club leading 7th home run. He had one against the Road Warriors back on the 8th 6 days ago. Just his 2nd since May 22.
And you know, with Hobson now in the lineup, a more of a home run threat really could help Castile maybe start seeing more pitches again. Because pitchers they're going to know the track record of Hobson. Don't want to make a mistake to him, but
Robinson picks up ball 2. Grant Desmay waits on deck. Desmay got off to a tremendous start before the injury sidelined him. Here's a 2-1. Robinson pulls a ground ball. The second baseman, Sienna, is there. Short throw for the 2nd out. And Desmay to the plate. Grant is 6 for 15. He had a 3 for 3 game. His first professional ball game in about 8.5 years since the Arizona Fall League. Robinson has to go back to the dugout. 5 hits in the series for Trayvon, but not here. And the right-handed batting Desmay will step in.
yeah, it's unfortunate too for Desmay because he had hit safely in his last 3 ball games that he's played, and then to get the injury to sideline him for a little bit. Sure, he's anxious to get going again.
Well, if he can go 3 for 3 after an 8+ year layoff, 2 weeks is that's child's play.
That's nothing.
1-0 to Desmay. Swing, and he turns on this, driving it deep to left field. Galvez goes back and makes the catch. It's a home run anywhere else. Desmay thwarted here in Lancaster by the deep dimension to left field. He flies out just ahead of the warning track. The Barnstormers are held to 1 run on the Castile home run. 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on base, and through 2, it's 3-1 New Britain. The Barnstormers have drawn a bit closer anyway. as we open up the third inning, and Tommy Shirley is low and away to Josh Tolley. Ball one, no strikes. Tolley singled into center to drive in the first run of the game for the New Britain Bees. 3 straight RBI singles with 2 outs in that first inning, and that ball smashed on the ground past Rico Noel, and a leadoff single here in the third inning.
Well, I was about to say, you know, we hate to sound like a broken record, but Lancaster pitching needs a shutdown inning after getting at least one back in the second. And what's Tolley do? Promptly rips a base hit into right field.
Last night, the Bees, out of their 13 hits, had a triple and a home run. They had a homer and 3 doubles out of their 16 the night before. This is smashed one hop to Rico, backhanded feed to Frias, back to first, and a double play, canceling out another base runner. 2 DPs in 2 innings behind Tommy Shirley, which reminds me I need to send a text to Kristen.
That helps.
Another bang-bang double play. 2 outs, nobody on, and Jamar Walton will step in.
Well, so now Shirley with an opportunity to maybe get out of a quick inning with very, very minimal pitches.
Shirley ready to go. The offering, skied foul out of play down the left field line by Walton. It is 0-1.
Yeah, for some reason, these first 2 innings for Lancaster pitching in this series have just been long and laborious.
Fouled away, and a second strike. Swing and a miss.
That was that quick inning.
Finally a quick inning. Just 6 pitches thrown by Shirley. He seems to have figured something out, and he'll take us to the bottom of the third with New Britain up 3-1. Tommy Shirley has been able to pick up some outs pretty quickly the last 2 innings. And now Nate Coronado will open up the bottom of the third against Reining Lara. The Barnstormers have the home run on the board by Castile. It's been their only base runner against Lara. He's retired the other 6 hitters. Lancaster needs to apply some pressure with the speed and put the onus on Lara and Tolley to try and contain that speed game. Coronado was swinging a foul ball back for strike 1. Also good to see Shirley with that 6-pitch inning in the top of the third, because that's going to keep him around longer and put less pressure on the bullpen. 0-1, and a Coronado swinging a drive foul off to the right.
You're right. Need to get some guys on base, create some havoc, and would be nice to get an extra base hit too. I mean, we just saw single after single, which is fine, and you score 5 runs like you mentioned on any given night earlier this season was enough for the Barnstormers to win.
0-2, and Coronado hits it in the air to right. That's generally where his power is, but he got underneath that one way too much with the wind blowing in. He's retired by Jamar Walton. That is the 4th flyout for Rainy Lara so far. Vladimir Frias coming in.
Yeah, when you say wind blowing in, you're not kidding. That flag is straight in. It's shifting a little bit towards the right field, but that's a pretty stiff breeze up above the stadium.
Not quite as brisk in here as it was earlier today.
What a beautiful day, though.
Vladimir Frias, .352 hitter, 3 hits last night. Having a marvelous year. First pitch strike to him, and having a very nice game so far on defense. Leaping backhanded catch of the line drive by Vinny Sienna in the first inning, finally putting that to an end, and who knows where that inning goes from there. Called second strike. Frias bats 0-2. Darian Sanford scheduled next. Lara bounces one up there. But Rainy Lara is averaging only about 3 pitches per hitter. Surely his numbers have come down since early in the game. Frias goes the other way, a liner out the left, and in his tracks is Galvez, another putout in left field. That's 4 for Galvez. Darian Sanford was the first one, and he'll come back around.
Yeah, they've been fairly routine fly balls. Now, granted, the one Desmay hit took him back just shy of the warning track, but a lot of space to run around in this outfield, especially in left to center.
But the Barnstormers need to hit the ball low in this game for the most part. Yeah, somebody like Castile can get it out, but you want singles in this game. You don't want to get the ball up in the air. That wind's going to hold it up for the most part. 1 strike on Sanford, but only 1 ground ball so far. Trayvon Robinson hit that. Outside and low, 1-1, but Lara is getting ahead in the count, and he's forcing the Barnstormers to hit his pitch. One to Darian. That's his second strike, 1-2. At Lara, he's thrown just 31 pitches. He's getting through this Lancaster lineup pretty quickly. Sanford looks at ball 2 outside.
And he's a fast worker on the mound, too. Boy, he wastes no time.
I think that's why he was effective against the Barnstormers last year. They had trouble with the quicker workers. Here's a 2-2 pitch, ball 3 inside and low. So a chance now for Sanford to get on base, which obviously is what you want because he wreaks havoc. He's been known to get on base and score before the next batter is decided. It's happened on 3 or 4 occasions. 3-2 to the league's leading base stealer. Lara ready to go. And there's a chopper right side. It's going to be a tough play. Lara will cover but not get Darian Sanford.
Well, he broke late to the bag. And as soon as that happened, forget it. Sanford's going to beat him. You instantaneously, when you're the pitcher, you got to get right to the bag.
May have thought about going for the ball first,
yeah,
and then to the bag, but you cannot break stride at all when you're racing against Sanford, especially when Darian's batting left-handed. Look at him go. And Darian wins the race.
And there was no way Sienna was going to get to the ball to make a play to first.
Rico Noel will come to the plate. Sanford with the infield single. And we'll see if he has designs on taking off here. The 6'4" Rainy Lara fires over. It's from Bagni in the Dominican Republic. Is Lara, with former Mets farmhand. Another throw over. Sanford back in. Sometimes when you're Rico Noel batting in this number 2 spot, you can begin to feel a little lonely. You get no attention unless you become the runner at first. And then you get the same treatment Sanford's getting right now.
Well, and we talk about Sanford and how it's imperative he gets on base. hitting what,
Well, he's up around in the low 270s now.
How nice would that be if he was flirting around 300 along with Noel and Frias? Boy, that could be huge. But just get on base. That's the bottom line.
High set by Lara. Another throw to first. Noel has not seen a pitch. And the fans get on Rainy Lara. Figuring at this rate they won't be home in time to catch the 11 o'clock news.
Tonight or tomorrow?
Lara's thrown over 4 times, make it 5. Fans might start storming the field here. They're becoming disgruntled. This is what Sanford does. 26 steals and 33 tries. To Noel, he finally sees a pitch, and it's high and wide.
And he gets the Bronx cheer. Lara, that is.
One ball and nothing. Noel with a ground ball past Ross Peoples. 1-1. But what this inning has done is at least forced Lara to work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Sanford deep in the count, beats out the infield single. Now Noel at a ball and a strike. Galen's on deck. We could see a dramatic turnaround in this game if Noel reaches. 1-1 to Rico. And another throw to first base.
And you got to wonder if you're Sanford saying, okay, you're going to keep doing this. I am going to run on you. And I am going to steal second base.
Jason Rogers holding the runner. One. Rico thinks it's taken too long.
I haven't been keeping track. How many times has he thrown to first?
6.
6? Okay.
And 2 pitches to Noel. 2 outs with a man on. Sanford stays put, swing and a miss. Noel went out of the zone. And that's something we've seen New Britain do so infrequently in this series. It just helps a pitcher out. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count to Noel. He was 24 points ahead of number 2 in the league, Vladimir Frias, at the start of play tonight. That's quite a double play combination. A ball and 2 strikes, and another, this case, lob throw over to first base. That's 7, and 3 pitches to Noel.
You know, he keeps up this rate, he'll have as many throws to first as he is to home tonight.
One and 2 to Noel. Lara to the set. The runner starts, doesn't go. Ball 2 is outside and low. Tolley bluffing the throw back down to first base. 2-2.
Probably a good thing he didn't go because that pitch was way outside and Tolley had a perfect view down to second base.
But it was somewhat low.
Yeah.
I just don't think Sanford thought he had a very good start there. Lara's done a decent job holding him. He's going to go here. 2-2 is inside, and no throw made by Tolley. That is number 27 for Darian Sanford. But perhaps more importantly, it's now 3-2 on Rico Noel.
And it gets him in scoring position.
72nd stolen base as a Barnstormer for Darian Sanford. He is in his 100th Barnstormer game. That's quite a rate.
Wow.
3-2 to Noel. Lara looks back at second, and the pitch chased, the swing and a miss. That would have been ball 4, and it would have gotten Galen to the plate. Oh, the Barnstormers have a lot of fun with Sanford on base, but it doesn't lead to any runs. We're at the end of 3-1 in favor of New Britain.
Well, we were down.
Just an idea of the glare here towards sunset at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Reflecting off the shades. Not sure whose shades those are. In any event, Tommy Shirley goes to work on Manny Ramirez Jr. as we start off. First pitch strike. It is 0-1 on Ramirez. Called second strike. It's 0-2.
Well, it was Shirley quick work last inning. Got a chance to catch his breath because Lancaster prolonged that third inning, albeit Lara making a lot of throws to first base.
Shirley to the plate. This is elevated to left center field, not all that deep. Trayvon Robinson taking charge to make the catch. Tommy Shirley has done a brilliant job settling down here since the first 11 batters of the night. It had the makings of a possible early exit and a long night for the Barnstormers bullpen. And now Shirley has gotten us through 3 1/3 innings and kept his ball club in the game. Vinny Sienna, the batter, lined to short back in the first inning. A brilliant play by Frias, who can make those. Strike taken. It's 0-1. Sienna's had a great series. You know, he's on this ball club with a lot of major league veterans. He's only in his 4th pro season. He's a youngster, and he is developing. 1-1 from Shirley. Hit in the air down the right side. Now to play.
And one of the things that's been the difference since that second inning is Shirley throwing a first pitch strike. He's getting ahead in the count. That first inning, he faced 9 guys.
1-2, bouncer towards short, into the hole goes Frias. He has time to set. Perfect throw. 2 outs in the inning. Vladimir Frias having a very nice game at shortstop.
6 of the 9 in that first inning. First pitch was a ball. But he's throwing strikes now and letting the defense do the work.
2 outs, nobody on board. The hitter, Darren Ford, 1 for 2.
Of course, he's been a beneficiary of 2 double plays, too, which always helps.
Up for a ball, 1-0. At just 6 pitches for Shirley last inning. He's thrown 8 here in the 4th. With 2 outs and the bases empty. Taken for a strike. It's 1-1. Tully, Galvez, and Walton with consecutive RBI base hits in that first inning. High and wide, 2-1. And then Ramirez hit the ground ball to the hole at short. Frias did what he needed to do on that play, but Coronado just couldn't find the bag with his feet. 2 balls, 1 strike. High fly ball foul off to the right again. Ford bats 2-2. The Barnstormers haven't been able to mount a significant attack really against Lara. It could still be coming. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ford. 2 outs, nobody on. Shirley's pitch fouled back.
Just got enough to stay alive. But then again, that's what New Britain has done all series long.
But you're not seeing even the little nicks foul with the pitches down in the dirt. You're seeing foul balls back into the screen, foul balls pulled off the dugout fencing, fly balls down the lines. Two and two to the former Giant Ford. Sidearm offering that is punched into right center field, and he has his second hit of the night. Eaten up out there by Galen. Ford stole a base back in the second inning. He may look to go again. Reed Brignac will come to the plate. He's walked twice. Well, this is the kind of at bat we have seen repeatedly in this series. 2 strike foul balls and then a more suitable pitch in the eyes of the hitter and just depositing it somewhere. Not crushing it, just finding a hole in the defense, getting on base. There goes Ford right away. The pitch, a strike. The throw by Castile, not there. And Ford has his second steal of this game and number 11 for the year.
And again, something with 2 outs. They got that 3 runs in the first inning with 2 outs.
And I would venture to say a lot of the runs they've scored in this series have come with 2 outs. Three of the comeback runs last night scored with 2 outs. And as we said, the 3 runs tonight. Man at second base is Ford. 1 strike to Brignac. Shirley is wide. It is 1-1. Davidson Romero, the third baseman, due next. The visage of Casey Hobson. One and one. Shirley delivers. That's a swing and a foul tip. We get the 1-2. We'll see if Tommy can get rid of Brignac here and get his team back into the batter's box. You don't want another one of those long, drawn-out at-bats right now. Brignac batting 1 and 2. The pitch is upstairs. He wouldn't climb the ladder. They just haven't. 2 and 2.
Got to find that out pitch, whether it's a strikeout or just get him to put it in play for the defense to finish this inning off.
2-2 pitch coming from Shirley. And that's fouled. Shirley coming off a stretch of 7 batters where he had control of the game. Now he's got to get rid of Brignac. 2-2 breaking ball, popped up left side. Coronado coming over. Will he have enough room? Leaning into the dugout. He's got it. Big final out here in the top of the 4th for Tommy Shirley. Nate Coronado was just about out of room. 1 hit and 1 man left. Coronado retiring Brignac will go to the bottom of the 4th, a 2-run deficit. The Barnstormers will be back home next week against the Somerset Patriots, and we'll have that entire series for you here on Blue Ridge Cable 11 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's after a brief 3-day visit against the Long Island Ducks up at Bethpage Ballpark coming up over the next 3 nights. We're out of the off days for a while for the Lancaster Barnstormers.
And isn't one of those a doubleheader?
Not that series.
No?
We've already made up the game against the Patriots.
Oh, that's against York in July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blake Galen to lead off here in the 4th against Rainey Lara. Galen, a strikeout victim, back in the 1st. Hobson and Castile to follow. The pitch to Blake is high. Ball 1, no strikes. Tommy Shirley has done the job keeping the Barnstormers in this affair. Galen takes a breaking ball for a strike. It is 1-1. Opposing pitchers have been working the corners very well to Blake here the past 2 or 3 weeks. 1-1 pitch. Runs away. Blake gains the edge 2-1. He'll take getting on base here. He knows what that can mean. Barnstormers haven't gotten a leadoff man on yet against Lara. 2-1 pitch. Lined out the left field. Here is Galvez, and he'll be there to handle another one. How does a left fielder have 5 putouts out of 10 outs in a ball game? But that's the way it's gone tonight. Casey Hobson, a strikeout victim his first time up.
Been a busy man out there.
Lara, with the exception, I guess, of the Castile at bat, has done an amazing job pitching to this ballpark.
Yeah.
Was that meant to hear better? Now Hobson gets underneath one. This is lofted to shallow center. Brignac will let Ford take it, and Ford drops the ball. Hobson chugging for second, and he is in. A break for the Barnstormers. Darren Ford dropping the ball on the shallow fly to center. Ford is there. The ball eludes him. E8, I have to think. Absolutely. And then Casey Hobson in at second base. Ryan Castile stepping in. Will the Barnstormers make Darren Ford and the New Britain Bees pay for that mistake?
Yeah, I don't know if he just got a late jump on that, but
the glove was right there.
Yeah.
First pitch to Castile in for a strike at his 0-1.
I mean, Brignac went out as well, but
that's Ford's play.
Oh, absolutely, it's Ford's play. That's why I was surprised Brignac went out as far as he did.
I don't know if he got a glimmer of sunlight back off the windows at the last second or not. Ball and a strike now to Ryan Castile. This is Ryan's very productive first at bat as he goes oppo here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. His club leading 7th home run of the year, which temporarily anyway ties him for second in the Atlantic League.
Love that sound.
Castile batting 1-1. Lara to the set and the pitch. This is taken out the left field. Galvez has to fade back at the end and makes the catch. 6 putouts in left field. I wonder what the record is. We saw a game a couple of years ago. Michael Krause had 12 in center against the Barnstormers at New Britain Stadium. But he hasn't even really been tested out there.
Well, I tell you what, on a night like this with that glare off the windows above, that can't be a lot of fun out there in left field.
Now here is Robinson. He grounded out back in the second inning, the only ground ball out recorded by Lara. 2 outs with Hobson in scoring position. Swing and a miss. But when you stop to think about these 6 flyouts to Galvez, he probably hasn't had to cover more than 100 feet.
No.
And the 6 fly balls.
Not really. The one he had to run the furthest for was that fly ball by Dismay.
Trayvon Robinson bats 0-1 with a man in scoring position. Lara to the set. And it's inside and low. Ball 1, strike 1. And it's Desmay on deck. Well, he put a charge into that ball in the second inning, too.
Yes, he did.
That was the fly ball tonight on either side that's covered the most distance. Robinson batting 1-1. Gets ball 2 inside and low.
Could be big if Lancaster can make Ford pay for his error out there in center field if Robinson can come up here with a base hit.
Two 1 pitch coming to Robinson. 3-1 now. Trayvon did homer off of Lara in New Britain, and I don't think they're interested in seeing a repeat. I think they'll take their chances with Desmay. But New Britain hasn't been shy about pitching to anybody in this series, really. 3-1.
Everything for Robinson in this at bat has been down in the zone. Down and in.
Lara ready to go. Here's the 3-1 offering. Sizzled into right field. A base hit. Over to get it is Walton. Hobson is coming. The throw is going to be up the line and bounce away. That will allow Robinson to go to second with the tying run. Trayvon Robinson, RBI single. An unearned run crossing the plate against reigning Lara here in the 4th inning. Lancaster back to within 1. And Grant Desmay will have a chance to tie it up. There will be an error on that play. Robinson, solid base hit into right. Walton did not make an accurate throw.
Yeah, it would look like he was just conceding the run, but then just missed the cutoff.
And I don't know where Lara was backing up on that either. I didn't see him on the screen. It doesn't mean he wasn't there. Robinson at second base. And Desmay lifts a fly ball off to the right, now to play. Second error of the inning. Charged to the New Britain Bees. Anything that scores will be unearned anyway. The inning should have been over on 3 fly ball outs. Desmay has 2 runs batted in since joining this ball club. He trails by a strike here. Lara comes set, and Desmay takes a second strike over at the knees. Now, Lara has control of the AB.
But this is good. This is the second inning in a row now that Lancaster has offensively kept Lara out on the mound for an extended period of time.
0-2. Lara to the plate. Desmay swings and misses a breaking ball. That dove on him, and it will end the inning. But the Barnstormers pick up a run on 1 hit and 2 errors. They leave a man. We've gotten through 4. The Barnstormers are closer. It's 3-2. We got a close one now at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers pulling within a run. Tommy Shirley stayed on the hill. He'll face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Romero, Rogers, and Tolley. Here in the top half of the 5th inning. Again, important for Tommy to come out and put a 0 on the board. He misses away to Romero. Ball 1, no strikes. Shirley, depending on the length of this inning, may not be able to go past 5. Ball 1 pitch, and that is smoked foul down the left side. 1-1. I know we're getting toward the solstice, Eric. This is the deepest into a ball game we've gone with the sun shining in our eyes this year.
I mean, I'm not complaining because it feels good, and it sure beats sitting here watching rainfall.
It's been a beautiful day. Shirley had that slip out of his hands. 2-1.
This is just perfect day.
Well, it's the ideal day. not humid in the least. 2 balls, 1 strike to Davidson Romero. Shirley to the plate, and a ball ripped foul into the New Britain dugout. And boy, I hope they avoided that.
Well, they were bailing.
We had the fencing installed several years ago, and it will cut down most of those, but that was wicked.
Reed Brignac, I don't know if that got him. He's not up on the railing now.
2-2 on Romero. Foul to the right. This, again, reminiscent of what the Bees have done this entire series. Barnstormers threw 203 pitches last night. I don't have the exact count from the series opener back on Tuesday, and it wasn't over 200, but it was still high. 2-2 pitch. Again, a ball ripped foul. Romero has hit 3 absolutely wicked line drives foul on this AB.
He's on it.
Brignac has to be feeling lightning can't strike twice.
Yeah. I think I'd have a seat.
I wouldn't count on that. 2-2. We'll see if Shirley and Castile can cook something else up here. Silo's in a much safer place. But I'd keep that door closed. It's plexiglass. 2-2. It's low. Romero bats at a full count. Barnstormers have climbed to within a run here. Now Romero threatens to get on, leading off this 5th inning. He's getting cross-checked into the boards. Oh, wait, hockey season's over. 3-2.
The celebration isn't over for the Capitals.
It may not end until October. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Shirley gets it by him. Romero strikes out for the 2nd time in the game. That is K number 3 for Tommy Shirley. And Jason Rogers stepping in.
What a great job by Shirley, because Romero was giving him everything he had, fouling off numerous pitches, but battled back and won this round.
Rogers is walked and grounded into a critical double play. Breaking ball missing. It is 1-0. You talk about the Capitals celebration. I've had so many people who are not Capitals fans say how much they've enjoyed watching Ovechkin and all the antics with the cup. All good, clean fun. Called strike, 1-1 on Rogers. Ovi is the most famous athlete in the Washington market in decades. On the right side, a ground ball picked by Noel. 2 up and 2 down. Bryce Harper probably gets more endorsement money in the D.C. area, but Ovechkin really right now is king.
Well, the question is, will Harper be in D.C.?
Well, that may not be the case much longer, and that would really be a shame, because they have built a very good team. They haven't been able to get over the top, but perhaps the Capitals have broken the curse of D.C. that had gone on for 26 years. And what was amazing there is not only had D.C. not won a championship, they hadn't gotten to their conference final in 26 years since the last Redskins Super Bowl win.
Wait. So the Caps weren't in the Cup?
The Caps, in 98. I think that was the last one. Fouled away by Josh Tolle. It's a ball and a strike here. Yeah, that was the last one since 98. And the Caps losing to the Red Wings in 4. That the D.C. market had not gotten to its conference championship in any sport. And you think of how good the Nationals have been, but they keep losing in the division round.
Yeah.
1-2 from Shirley to Tolle. Check swing on a high fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'll tell you, Ross has to be so pleased with the job that Shirley has done since that bad start. 3-2. Again, a check swing. Tolle doesn't seem to be bothered by the presence of a left-handed pitcher. He had an RBI single and a walk against Nate Reed the other night. 3-2. That's ball 4 outside. fourth walk given up by Shirley. Now Jonathan Galvez will step in. He is singled and he's grounded into a double play.
That's just a really good at bat by Tolley. Shirley tempted him numerous times, a little bit up in the strike zone, but he just would not go after it.
2 outs with a runner on. Galvez stands in. Shirley to the plate, and that's fired for a strike. If it weren't for that 6-pitch third inning, Shirley would really be tipping the scales on a very long outing tonight. Up the middle, Noel knocks it down with his glove, can't complete the play. Base hit for Galvez. Now Jamar Walton will step in. Now all of a sudden you've got 2-out trouble in this 5th inning.
And again, they're doing it with 2 outs.
With 2 outs and a ground ball just finding a seam anywhere else. And that is going to be an out and end the inning, but it's right up the middle. Shirley couldn't get down on it. Noel got the glove on it. Would have been a great play if he had turned it. And you got Ross Peoples using his 2nd time out of the night. I think he's going to take the ball from Tommy Shirley. So Jamar Walton, the scheduled hitter, is going to be facing a reliever. Shirley to 95 pitches in this game. Can't quite get us through the 5th inning. Johnny Anderson coming in, but we're going to take a break and pause for these messages. Certainly been tough to strike out the New Britain Bees in this series, but Tommy Shirley was able to do it 3 times here tonight, getting Davidson Romero, getting Jamar Walton, and again getting Davidson Romero. Now John Anderson's in to try and retire Jamar Walton and get the Barnstormers and Shirley out of trouble here in the 5th inning. Big swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. Walton decided to let it fly on that first pitch. What a beautiful sunset we've got tonight. It has been a sensational day.
Walton with that swing was looking to clear the bases.
0-1. Check swing on a ball that angles outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, so few swings at pitches out of the zone in this series. They're not getting tricked. Tolley at second, Galvez at first, 2 men out. One ball, 1 strike. Anderson fires low, 2-1. The first inning took enough of a toll on Tommy Shirley. I had him unofficially at 95 pitches when he was lifted. Walton now batting 2-1 with 2 on and 2 out. Anderson ready to go back to work. The pitch is ball 3. 3 in a row out of the zone since that first swing and miss.
So 95, and how many in that first inning alone? Was
36.
Oh, wow. Tell you what, though, tip your cap to him because Shirley really battled back after that first inning. He settled down.
He kept this club in the game.
Absolutely.
Now Anderson's got to do it here. 3-1 to Walton. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and another huge rip from Jamar. 3-2. Anderson is retired the first batter in 8 out of his 12 relief appearances so far. He stranded 4 of 5 inherited runners. Big pitch. Runners will be taking off. 3-2. Anderson to Walton. It's on the way. Got him swinging. A big strikeout to end the top of the 5th. 1 hit and 2 left for the New Britain Bees. Bottom half of the 5th coming up in a 1-run game. Get the nightly ice cream video. They do it to tempt us, Eric.
Yes, they do. Our Savior's here, though. Bob's floating around here somewhere tonight.
Yeah, good night for it anyway. Yeah. We're hinting. We're suggesting. We're hoping the clues are picked up.
Hoping for some more hits. Hoping for some more hits this inning.
Lifeline helicopter flying over the stadium, not terribly far from Lancaster General Hospital. Only a couple blocks away, in fact. Nate Coronado leads off the 5th against Rainey Lara. Coronado fly to right his first time up. Swung on and missed. 1 strike to Nate. Vladimir Frias and Darian Sanford will follow. It's been a story most of the night about the fly ball outs picked up by Lara. Just about every, or most of the outs he's recorded have been in the air, and this will be another one. Back goes Sienna. In comes Walton. Jamar Walton will take it and make the grab. Out number 1. Vladimir Frias flied to left his first time up. 2 putouts for Walton, both against Coronado. 6 for the left fielder Galvez. No putouts for Darren Ford in center. He muffed his only chance. That led to the Barnstormers' second run tonight. Vladimir Frias stepping in. Frias hasn't put together any hitting streak of note despite the high batting average. He's had a lot of 3-hit games. Upstairs for a ball, 1-0.
But he has put up some gaudy numbers recently, though. 406 in his last 23.
6 3-hit games this year. And another fly ball. Darren Ford gets another opportunity, and he'll put this one away. 2 up and 2 down, and it's taken only 4 pitches. Darian Sanford will come to the plate. This has just been Lara's night. He's gotten all these fly ball outs. And again, we'll count them up. That is 9 out of the 14 outs he's recorded. 3 strikeouts, One ground ball. I'm missing something. 4 strikeouts. That's what I'm missing. Onto the inside corner to Sanford for a strike. It's 0-1. 1 out of 2 for Darian. He has stolen his 27th base of this season. Next pitch to him is driven out to center field. Another routine fly ball out. That is 10 in 5 innings. A 6-pitch frame for Rainy Lara. And he continues to lead this ball game 3-2. We'll be back with you on Blue Ridge Cable 11 come Monday with the Somerset Patriots here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers involved in their own first half pennant race in the Freedom Division, but there is a dandy going on in the Liberty Division, and over the next 10 games, the Barnstormers will have a lot to say about it. Somerset leading the Long Island Ducks by 1. Manny Ramirez Jr. leads off here in the 6th inning. The first pitch from Anderson is quite low. Ball 1-0. Sienna and Ford will follow.
And the Road Warriors still down in Sugarland, I take it?
They are for the remainder of this week. They're being sent down there twice for 7 games apiece. Once in the first half, once in the second half. Fly ball here. Noel directs traffic. Blake Galen will take charge, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. That's exactly what the Barnstormers have been doing all night long. One away, Sienna comes to the plate. He is 0 for 2. You get a look down at the Barnstormers bullpen. You never know what's going through their heads. In the forefront there, 2 left-handed relievers, Jared Lakin and Matt Marksbury. They seem normal when you deal with them, but they're left-handed relievers. You know that.
So you're saying.
You know that they're not quite aligned right. Left-handed and reliever, it's just a deadly combination. It's just a known thing in baseball.
Okay. I didn't know if they openly admitted that too to you or not.
Sugarland leads the Road Warriors, by the way, 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Smash down the line at third. Coronado can't get to it. Sienna will get extra bases. He's on his way to second. Robinson fishing that one out of the corner. Finally comes up with it. And Sienna stands at second with a 1-out double. He has had such a nice series here this week. Vinny Sienna with the game-winning hit last night. He is 5 for 11 against the Barnstormers in this series, including a home run in this double. Just smash inside the bag at third. He's also been stellar in the field.
Yeah, just one of a handful of Bees that have had a really nice series.
Somerset up 3-1 over York in the 5th. Southern Maryland 2, Long Island 1 in the 6th inning. Darren Ford fouls it off for a strike. It is 0-1. Chance for New Britain to extend the lead. They are 0 for their last 5 with runners in scoring position. Get a look at, that's Carlos Garcia, I do believe, with that haircut.
That's quite a drought for them, 0 for 5.
Swing and a miss.
Ooh.
Second strike on Ford.
He blew that one by him.
John Anderson can be so good. Doesn't surface every time out, but it does, I would say, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6. You see Sienna leading off second base. 0-2. The motion. Anderson to the plate. Foul to the top of the net. Eric May wanted to make the catch. He still hasn't gotten a ball in this booth after all of these years.
Operative word being wanted. Wanting and completing are 2 different things.
Schoenfeld got one on a bounce.
I know. I'm reminded of it, too.
All the time. 2 strikes to Ford. He's up there battling. We'll back away. Anderson now straddling the rubber.
Whether it's on the bounce or not, it just, the percentage of and chance of it coming up here is minuscule.
0-2. High and outside on the fastball.
See him flinch? Tehran flinched. I thought maybe we're going to ring him up.
There you see Ed Novikowski. He's a math teacher, so am I, in my free time away from this. There are parallels to be drawn,
so
folks.
Will we see you in that kind of setup?
2-2. Give him time around here.
Well, being it is Flag Day, showing some patriotism there.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Darren Ford. Again, a tough at bat. Anderson had him 0-2. He's fouled one off.
Working the phones.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Anderson is wide. 3-2. Brignac on deck. Well, so am I, but I usually do it in between innings. I've been in communication with all kinds of folks here tonight, especially Kristen Syme, to let her know we've turned 2 double plays with the deal with Bonefish Grill, the Bang Bang Shrimp.
Oh, that's right.
She has to let them know to expect the rush.
Is there anything for a triple play?
I don't know about that. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called at the letters. Darren Ford says, I don't think so. Ford goes down looking. 2 outs in the inning, and Reed Brignac will come to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. Yeah, I think in the Atlantic League strike zone, that was probably there.
Borderline too close to take, though. But then again, maybe Ford knew it and was just trying to sell it.
Fouled away. Could you see if there were replay available on balls and strikes?
Oh, geez.
Baseball games would take as long as cricket matches, which are known to go on for days.
Yeah, and we'd hear crickets because nobody would be around to watch.
Good line. I like that line. I applaud.
There's
you,
a first.
0-1. Fastball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. What do they call it in Britain? Rounders, I believe.
Don't know.
And one of my teacher friends is from Great Britain. I believe that's the term she uses. Swung on and missed. 1-2. We were talking about baseball one day because her boys play it. She said, I don't understand it. I know rounders, which I do not know the rules of cricket. I know they're very different. Anderson working 1-2 to Brignac. He is low. The ball bouncing around off Castile and Brignac both. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I know right now people are really buzzing about the World Cup.
I was getting texts about that all day long. They went into my whoop-de-doo folder. 2-2. Check swing and a foul ball.
So what else is in that whoop-de-doo folder?
I actually have a long list. I'm afraid I've already offended half the world, so I don't want to go for the other half.
Okay.
I've just never gotten into soccer. My kids enjoy watching it. My wife was watching it actually a little while today. I guess Russia crushed Saudi Arabia, the host Russian Federation. 2-2 pitch. Outside and low. Brignac has forced it to 3-2.
The thing that just bothers me the most of those when they blow those plastic horns.
The vuvuzelas?
Oh, that is it just goes right through me.
Payoff pitch is due to Brignac. Anderson glancing back to Sienna. 3-2. Strike 3 called again. 2 in a row for Johnny Anderson. He has struck out 3 since taking over. Sienna is pinned at second. That's 8 men left on base tonight for the New Britain Bees. 3-2, the score still. Many ways to enjoy a night at the ballpark. I want to see that kid with a scorebook, though. 6-4-3 double play. It's never
Twice.
too early to learn.
Nope.
Rico Noel stands in. He has flied out and struck out 7 and K to teach how to score. Upstairs for ball. He showed bunt, and I've been waiting for that to happen. 3 fly ball outs, all very routine behind Lara last inning. 10 altogether.
I used to keep a scorebook playing wiffle ball.
Noel lobs this out to right field. Jamar Walton with another easy play. 1 gone in the 6th inning.
He was playing fungo out there.
Galen has struck out and fly to left. It's getting to the point because Lara has thrown so few pitches that he could conceivably go 8 or 9 innings. Lancaster has to make some kind of an adjustment.
That's unheard of anymore.
That was just his 64th pitch. Swing and a miss by Galen. Down a strike, it's 0-1. Lara has walked nobody. He has not been running deep counts at all. 0-1. Galen yanks it to right. Way back it goes. And the walls will not contain it. Ryan Castile, his lead on the ball club in home runs. Very short-lived. Galen ties him at 7 and ties the game at 3.
Well, as dominating as Lara has been, Lancaster just chipping away and Galen jumping all over that one.
His 78th Barnstormer home run ties us at 3 as he hammers it off the top of the Haller 10.
That was up in the zone, and yeah, I saw Blake down below spending some extra time in the cage, and it's paid off.
Hobson taking a strike to the outside corner. It's 0-1. Look at that. Getting it up, and so a lot of left-handed batters like it down. But Galen punishes this pitch high. Hobson, a swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
Well, and now you look back at what Shirley did after that first inning, really doing an outstanding job of keeping Lancaster in the ball game.
Didn't let it get away.
No.
0-2 pitch. Popped up foul. Pitch number 69 for Lara. We'll see how long the Bees let him go. First time he misses to Hobson. Casey struck out, reached on an error. Castile is on deck. Well, the Barnstormers having to do it all with power tonight, which we're not accustomed to seeing. 1-2, Hobson gets a piece. He'll keep it going.
You know, obviously what Shirley did on the mound, but then maybe the turning point was that fourth inning, that dropped fly ball by Ford, and then who else? Trayvon Robinson coming up with a key 2-out single to right field to bring in the second run.
First time in the month of June, the Barnstormers have a multi-home run game. 1-2, out to center field. Darren Ford will handle another one.
Moved what, 3-4 steps?
They haven't had to catch a ball on the run. It's 12 putouts for the outfielders. 2 home runs and a sampling of strikeouts, but the number of balls the Barnstormers have hit on the ground in this game total 3. Robinson and Sanford with singles. Robinson a ground ball out. Castile with a foul the other way late on the swing. It's 0-1. 3-3 ball game, bottom of the 6th inning. Castile, line drive. That's into the right field corner. We'll see how quickly Walton can dig it out of there. Castile digging for second. Here's the throw, and it's late. Castile in with a double. Trayvon Robinson will try to get the Barnstormers the lead if they pitch to him.
Tell you what, that was a heck of a play by Walton. Played it perfectly out of that corner and made a pretty good throw into second base. Nice job. Look at that. Just stayed with it, kept the hands back, took it to the opposite field.
We're going to get a visit from Mauro Gazzo, and I think they're going to discuss what they want to do here. Robinson drove in a run back in the 4th inning with a line single in the right field. The next batter, Grant Desmay, a right-handed hitter, struck out, so they've got to talk at least about pitching around Trayvon Robinson with the ball game tied here in the 6th inning. Barnstormers have done a great job coming back in this game. That first inning was painful. 36 pitches for Tommy Shirley, 3 runs scored. It took a really nice leaping catch by Vladimir Frias to put that to a close. Yeah. The Barnstormers went down 1-2-3 on 9 pitches, and then New Britain gets it started again in the 2nd. Single, stolen base, walked, and it looked like this might end up being a one-sided affair. Tommy Shirley really got tough when he had to. I know he didn't last long enough even to be eligible for a win tonight, but the turnaround in Tommy Shirley's game the only reason the Barnstormers are in here battling right now. Go-ahead run is on. They're not going to walk Robinson intentionally, but I'll be interested to see if he gets anything to hit here. Lara ready to go. Robinson with a foul ball the other way, and they're coming right after him.
Yeah, I thought it might be that unintentional, intentional walk.
Ross People still coaching third base very often. He hands that roll over to Josh Bell by this time of a game. 0-1 to Trayvon. Lara comes back, swing and a miss. Well, they're pitching Trayvon very, very differently than they did his first two ABs. And right now, Lara's got him at no balls and 2 strikes. Coming into tonight, Lara had walked 12 in 37 and a third innings. No free passes in this game. The Barnstormers do have 3 extra base hits. Lancaster hasn't been able to really pad the stolen base total tonight because they just haven't had runners at first when you stop to think about it. Sanford, the only guy the Barnstormers have had occupy first base all night, and he stole second. 2 strikes the count to Robinson. Lara comes to the set. Trayvon with a fly ball, guess where? Just out the center field, another routine play for Ford. It's unbelievable. That's 13 putouts for the New Britain outfielders in this game. Lancaster, though, has tied it with 2 hits and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the 7th, knotted at 3. We have an entertaining ball game tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium. New Britain has had many more chances to score. The Bees have left 8 on, the Barnstormers only 3. As we head into inning number 7 and a new pitcher on the hill for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Garrett Granitz. Ross using the relievers in the same order that he did in the series opener 2 nights ago. There you get a look at Davidson Romero in the bizarre hairstyle that has been created for sports clips here. Pitch stays inside, 1-0. Now Granitz pitched 2 nights ago. He went an inning and a third, gave up 1 hit, struck out 2. He's facing the same guys that he faced in the ball game here on Tuesday. Fly ball center field, tough time of night. Sanford and Galen both there. Darian makes the catch for out number 1. No issue here. 1 man down. Jason Rogers will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Rogers with a single to center field against Granitz back in the Tuesday ball game. Garrett Granitz has really done a wonderful job here for a guy who's never pitched in an organization. He's just gotten better his time has gone by from this submarine angle. Upstairs with his fastball, that's relative. Ball 1 to Jason Rogers. This is the 18th game for Granites. He's given up 9 hits now in 17 innings. This one misses, and a 2-0 count. Tolley is the on-deck batter. A tie ball game in the 7th. Ross Peoples has used his entire bullpen in this series. 2-0 offering, check swing, bouncer at first base side of the mound. Granite's going to take this all the way himself, one unassisted. 2 men down, needed to get the legwork in.
Yeah.
Look how far down he goes, brings the arm across his body, but he, unlike a lot of pitchers from that angle, is in good position to field.
Yeah.
He really comes up well. 31 years of age. Garrett Granite's becoming, to some extent, a fan favorite here. He's the guy out catching the first pitches at night. He's really likable. I call him a young man. He's not necessarily young in baseball years. Ball is upstairs to Josh Tolley. Tolley has not been retired tonight. One of the very good additions brought in by Wally Backman and his crew, along with Rogers. They haven't gotten the production out of Matt Tuiasosopo they're looking for. He played the first game of this series. Tolley looks at a strike now. It's 2-1.
Well, with these additions, this is, and we've talked about it too, this is a team that definitely will be a team to reckon with.
Second string. 2-2. And we've got action down in the New Britain Bees bullpen.
Well, they've had some,
I believe that's Elvin Ramirez down there.
they've had some questions with home plate umpire Jorge Teran about the strike zone here in the last inning or so.
We've had Teran for, I would have to say, at least half of our home games this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Tolley. Granite dips back down. He misses with ball 3. Jonathan Galvez, the on-deck hitter. John Anderson, clutch inning in a third tonight, giving up 1 hit, striking out 3. Payoff pitch is due. Tolley looks at ball 4 upstairs. He's been on base every time in this game. Barnstormers pitching, walking 5 again tonight. Galvez will step in. He is 2 out of 3 with an RBI.
Can you think of anybody that threw that submarine pitch prior to Dan Quisenberry?
Did he proceed to Culvey? And I think Culvey was more of a side armor, true side armor than a submarine guy. Ted Abernathy. Fouled away.
Yeah.
It's 1-1. I think that's the first one I can remember as I go back.
Abernathy was what? White Sox?
Strike 2. And on Galvez. The name just, I'm thinking Reds, but maybe I'm wrong. 1955 to 72. Foul back. Galvez hangs in against Granites. We will stay at a ball and 2 strikes. Washington, Cleveland, the Cubs, Atlanta, Cincinnati, back to the Cubs, St. Louis, and Kansas City.
Wow.
1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Granites pitches a scoreless 7. 1 more left on for the Bees. Time for the stretch in a 3-3 ball game. RBI singles in the top of the first inning for the New Britain Bees. Things look pretty dire at that point, but then the Lancaster Barnstormers able to battle back with the long ball. Ryan Castile with the first of those on behalf of the Barnstormers tonight. Trayvon Robinson picking up an RBI single to bring the Barnstormers within one. And then the all-time home run leader in a Barnstormers uniform, Blake Galen, his 7th of this season, going deep to tie us up. And coming in the bottom half of the 6th inning. It is a tie baseball game here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and we have Elvin Ramirez here in the bottom half of the 7th on the hill for the Bees. Ramirez 1-3 in 17 appearances. He has an earned run average of 3.93. 6'3", 208-pounder living in Fort Pierce, Florida. He is 30 years of age, is Elvin Ramirez. Grant Desmay, Nate Coronado, and Vladimir Frias will be facing the right-hander. Quality start tonight for Ryan Lara. He gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned over 6 innings. Does not walk a soul and strikes out 4. 13 putouts for the outfielders behind him. And not one was a challenge.
No.
Grant Desmay leads off against Ramirez, and he hits a drive out the center field. But tonight, that ball is going to hang. A second deep fly ball out for Desmay here tonight. He's going to hit some home runs. You've got to love that swing. It's just tonight's a night where the ball really isn't carrying all that well. So you're not going to get it out to left center or center. But that is about a 380-foot fly ball out for Desmay to straightaway center. One down, here's Coronado. He's flied out twice. That is the 14th putout for the New Britain outfielders.
Yeah, the
in
wind
6 1/3 innings.
Wind has subsided. It was breezy when the game started, but it is calm now.
Yeah, but we're under high pressure. This is pretty heavy air.
Yeah.
Coronado looks at the ball high, 1-0. Lara will not factor in the decision. But a very solid effort for him. To Coronado, ball 2 is inside. The Barnstormers will just take base runners right now. They've had so few in this game. Yeah. 2 home runs, a double, 2 singles, and a dropped fly ball. Coronado up there, 2 balls and nothing. Tolley giving the signs to Ramirez. And that is fouled back to the net. 2-1. The Bees looking for a little elfin magic right now. Coronado's flied out twice. Frias has flied out twice. 2 balls and a strike. Ramirez is ready. Coronado chopper to the shortstop. Oh, a little variety anyway. Brignac looking at the baseball like, what do I do with this now? Oh, yeah, I got to throw it. That's right. 2 outs. Here's Vlad. Barnstormers getting on top of a baseball for one of the few times tonight.
This is the second ground out. Unbelievable.
Frias is 0 for 2 on fly balls. Coronado hitless tonight. With Terdoslavich gone, third base back to probably being divvied up with Coronado, Bortnick, Garcia. They'll all have chances to play. 2 outs, base is clear. Frias digs in and takes a strike to the outside corner. Elvin Ramirez off to a strong start tonight.
So I guess the signing of Hobson came at just the right time.
Ramirez, a little bit of major league time back in 2012. Hits the outside corner again. He was a Met. I think that's the secret to pitching well against the Barnstormers. Ex-Mets.
Oh.
Lara seems to have our number. Gabby Hernandez. Even Casey Delgado, the guy they have this year down at Southern Maryland. Nothing in 2 to Vladimir. He goes the other way. A line drive hustling over is Galvez, and he finally has to catch one on the run. 15 putouts for the New Britain outfielders in the game. They've had the Barnstormers defended perfectly. So we're on our way to the 8th and a 3-3 tie. Scott Schumann will pitch for the second night in a row. He will not be with the ball club over the weekend at Long Island. He has a family function to attend and has been granted the leave a long time ago. The Barnstormers will have to weave their way through the weekend without their 8th inning setup man, and Schumann has been as good as there is. 1-0 this season. He's given up 6 hits and 2 runs in 12 innings, with 5 walks and 20 strikeouts. Jamar Walton, Manny Ramirez, and Vinny Sienna scheduled in the 8th inning of this 3-3 ball game. I was curious. I looked up the major league record for putouts by a left fielder in a 9-inning game. It is 11 in both leagues, and 2 guys have done it in each of the major leagues. Jonathan Galvez not quite there, but he does have 7 in 7 innings. Jamar Walton will lead off against Schumann and take a ball off the outside corner after drawing a bunt back. It is 1-0. The last major league left fielder to record 11 putouts in a game, and this is how rare it is, did it 49 years ago. He did it 2 days before the moon landing. Hard hit ground ball foul. 1 ball, 1 strike on Walton. July 18th, 1969. Willie Horton of the Detroit Tigers.
Well, if that's the case, Galvez is going to have to, 4 out of the... Well, that's if Lancaster bats in the 9th. Dropping a little hint there.
So Walton, 1 ball, 1 strike. This is elevated to center. Sanford draws a bead on this. I never trust this time of night, but he's got it. I mean, it's not like the Barnstormers outfielders have been quiet out there, especially in recent innings. That's 4 putouts for them. Not as many as I was thinking. 1 down, and we're going to have a pinch hitter for Ramirez. This is going to be Osmond Guillen stepping in against Schumann.
And like father, like son, wearing number 13.
Right-handed batters are just 2 for 24 against Schumann. So you got a better chance as a lefty. Schumann's pitch fired onto the inside corner, strike 1. Second night in a row, and Schumann still has really good stuff. You got to respect it, but you're always going to be a little bit off. You tend to burn yourself out that 1 inning every couple of games, and using him for the second night, I don't know that the velocity will be quite as good. Guillen with a ground ball off the meat hand of Schumann. He'll come up firing, and that is out number 2. And it had the smart.
That's some pretty good reflexes there, but wait, if you're the pitcher, you don't want to use your bare hand.
And Jared Binner, the Barnstormers trainer from Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster, coming out. Ryan Castile checking in on the hand.
See how quickly he waved him off? He's like, no.
Schumann says he's fine. 2 outs, nobody on base. Our nightly Turkey Hill has arrived, Eric. This is one of the great perks of the job. Knowing Bob Zuckerman, it's up there. Seeing Bob Zuckerman bring you ice cream, that's the perfect finish to a day.
Thank you.
2 outs. Vinny Sienna, the batter. Schumann into his motion. First pitch, nasty slider, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Two outs, bases clear in the 8th inning. Schumann will fire. It's upstairs. Sienna stays away from it. They haven't been tempted too often. Top of the order scheduled for the Barnstormers when they step in, and their half of the 8th inning. Sanford, Noel, and Galen. Lancaster hasn't been able to build a threat of any sort all night long, but they have come back to tie it with home runs. Schumann to the plate, swing and a miss.
I think
that had the velocity of last night.
Yeah.
Well,
catch up to this one.
Just blew some gas right there. 1-2. I mean, boom. I think we come back with another one.
Why not?
Sienna bats at a ball and 2 strikes. Schumann will fire, and that's right there. Strike 3 call. Scott Schumann recording a strikeout and, more importantly, a 1-2-3 inning. In the top of the 8th, 7.5 in the books, still tied at 3. You look at Carlos Garcia and Grant Desmay. They've made contributions to this ball club, and I think they're going to make many more. Desmay is 0 for 3 tonight, Eric, but he's gotten a couple of very impressive swings in.
Oh, he has.
Again, he sat out 2 weeks, and before that, 8.5 years. And he looks good at the plate. Darian Sanford leads off here in the 8th inning, just trying to get something ignited, facing left-hander Josh Outman. And Sanford with a swing, and guess what? A ball hit right at Galvez. 8 putouts. Willie Horton, here we come.
Well, and the nice thing about Desmay, too, is that's going to give Lancaster another offensive pop from the right side of the plate.
Take a little pressure, I think, off Castile.
Absolutely.
1 out. The batter is Noel. He's 0 for 3. You get a look at Grant Desmay. An impressive fellow all the way around. Outman to Noel. Fastball upstairs. Ball 1 and no strikes. 16 putouts total for the New Britain outfielders in this game. 2 ground ball outs. That's crazy.
It is.
4 strikeouts. 1 ball and nothing to Rico. He looks at a pitch the entire way. A called strike 1-1. Lancaster saw Outman earlier in the series. He pitched 2 shutout innings here on Tuesday. Gave up 1 hit. Trayvon Robinson had that. Down low. Noel at 2 balls and a strike. Galen waits on deck. And Hobson after that, and that's why you're getting a lefty now.
Would really like to see Rico get on base here.
Top of the order scheduled in the 9th inning for New Britain. 2-1 to Noel. Hard hit ground ball. That is smothered by Romero, and the throw is good. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. First play handled by Davidson Romero tonight, and a testy one indeed. But he comes up with the play for the second out here. Scalded by Noel, Romero digs it up and makes a good clean throw.
Wow. Took a base hit away from him. That was roped.
Galen steps in. He homered to tie the game back in the 6th and blisters a ball to right center field here. Not high enough to get out. Playing it off the wall is Walton. A throw to second base will not get Galen. Looks like Blake's found his stroke again, people. And that could be nasty to the Atlantic League. A home run and a double his last 2 at bats. Jamar Walton made a great running catch against him last night, but that ball was simply hit too hard. Galen ends up at second with the double. There have been 3 pretty well hit balls against Outman here in this 8th inning, but now Casey Hobson comes to the plate. He is 0 for 3, 2 fly balls to center, one of which was dropped, and a strikeout. But you have to know Casey probably has not seen a lot of left-handed pitching. I'm sure that he didn't see many lefties when he was with Richmond, and he hadn't seen one in this series previously. Here comes Mauro Gazzo. He's going to take the second time out for his ball club. The go-ahead run at second base with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Hobson needing to come through to score Galen. Sanford hit the ball on the nose. Noel hit the ball on the nose, and Galen certainly hit the ball on the nose. And Ross taking it all in stride. And that's the appetizer for the vanilla bean ice cream, by the way. That's just the appetizer.
Oh, so that's his flavor of choice.
Every night.
Every night?
Was it 2 scoops for a loss, 3 scoops for a win? I think that's the formula. So hopefully it's a 3-scoop night.
Yeah, absolutely hope it's a 3-scoop night.
2 outs, Galen the runner at second. Outman goes to work on Hobson. Big breaking ball. Back to the inside corner, strike 1. Well, that's a hard pitch to gauge if you haven't been seeing much in the way of left-handed pitching. Ryan Castile, the man on deck. Galen leads off second. 0-1 to Hobson, swing and a miss. Outman has him set up at 0-2.
Boy, think about it too. If Noel would have reached, and then Galen hits that one to the fence,
because you knew right away it wasn't going to be caught.
Absolutely
Noel might have had the chance to streak all the way around. 0-2 pitch. Hobson with a fly ball pulled foul down the right field side. Just a little out ahead of it.
You know what? They don't need a home run. I mean, I would even take a little flare into right field.
Pretty much a shift on against Casey Hobson. 0-2. The Outman pitch is strike 3 called on the outside corner. Galen left parked at second base. Will go to the 9th, tied at 3. Matt Reynolds works the top of the ninth for the Barnstormers. He'll be facing Ford, Brignac, and Romero. Deadlocked at 3. Then Castile, Robinson, and Desmay would step in the bottom of the ninth inning. Non-safe situation for Reynolds here tonight. He, for the first time as the Barnstormers closer, failed to convert a save last night. He gave up 2 runs in the top of the ninth. He had 1 strike left to get with a 5-4 lead, and Rogers basically just fought off a pitch, got enough of it. Certainly sounded like his bat cracked.
Oh, yeah. But
floated over Frias's head to drive in James Skelton from third. I've had people try to pin that run on the bad throw. As there's a drive out the left field. This one's going to travel. Way back it goes, and the walls won't contain it. Darren Ford with a leadoff home run out of the blue here in the ninth inning, and New Britain leads 4-3. That thing was absolutely demolished by Ford. Darren Ford, I believe, might have faced Reynolds at some point in the National League West. A giant against a Rocky. That was just hammered out there and down the line. If it's not down the line, if it's to the fatter part of left field, it probably stays in. Reed Brignac will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of walks and a run scored. Reynolds fires outside. It is ball 1 and no strikes. First pitch of the inning. Reynolds trying to get ahead in the count on Ford, and Ford responds with his 4th home run of the season.
Yeah, we don't see many home runs to left field, but boy, that thing was just launched. And we had a perfect angle to see it, too, unfortunately.
1-0 pitch. Brignac, hard hit ground ball, and it hits the edge of the grass and hops over the glove of Rico Noel. Noel appeared to be there. But there is a pronounced lip at the edge of the outfield grass here, and it found it.
Noel lucky it didn't get him in the face.
Davidson Romero to the plate. He is 0 for 4.
Oh, man.
In orbit down the left field line. Robinson out of room. Now you've got another man on. Reynolds to the plate. Big swing and a miss by Davidson Romero. I think Noel had the play against Brignac if that ball doesn't hit the lip of the grass. Down and in. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Jason Rogers on deck.
What a rough 2 days for Reynolds here against New Britain.
Challenged him again. He's ahead of Romero. He had a rather dicey save back in New Britain in the well, actually it wasn't him, it was more Lakin. In the 7th inning, Reynolds came on and got 2 outs with the tying runs on base, and the Barnstormers had led 4-0 going into the bottom of the 7th and last inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Davidson Romero. Well, the Barnstormers will have to score in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-2 pitch, fouled back. Romero stays alive. Last night, Ford sacrificed against Reynolds. Bees are trying to win their 5th in a row overall. Reynolds will go to first. Brignac jumps back in there. Road Warriors have tied Sugarland 1-1 in the 5th inning. York leads Somerset 5-3 in the 8th. Southern Maryland 4-3 over Long Island in the 8th inning. Line drive, base hit the left, and that's headed perhaps for the corner. Robinson slides behind it. He's going to throw into second base. That's offline, though. A double for Romero. 3 hits in a row off of Matt Reynolds here in the 9th inning. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And Jason Rogers, the man who tied up last night's game, will come in.
Not only 3 hits, but 3 hard hits.
Ross Peoples coming out to the mound.
Yeah, New Britain has Reynolds figured out here tonight.
The inclination here is to walk Rogers. But if you do that, you have to keep in mind that Josh Tolle has not been retired by a left-handed pitcher in this series.
And he's been on base all 4 times tonight.
He's reached base all 5 plate appearances against either Reed or Shirley. Reynolds will stay in. They'll decide what to do. 4-3 in favor of New Britain. And it could get worse. Barnstormers with a slew of extra base hits tonight, but ultimately haven't had many base runners. Infield will pull in. They're going to pitch to Rogers to start. Check swing. Did he go? And he did, says Brian DeBrouwer, the first base umpire.
I was going to say, he better say he went.
0-1. Tolle, the on-deck batter. New Britain has put together a very good lineup. 4 of the first 5 with major league experience. Outside a ball, 1-1. 2 years ago, New Britain ended up in the playoff hunt in the second half. They came up just short. But that was more craftiness of Stan Clyburn than anything else. Last year was a miserable season for the New Britain Bees. And now Wally Backman has come in and he's built himself a formidable ball club. It just took a while. Sugarland had the good fortune of facing New Britain 6 games early. That opening series at Constellation Field. But right now, New Britain is one of the elite teams, I would have to say, in this league. The record overall doesn't show it. But they started 5-14. If they win tonight, they'll be 20-24. And a legitimate chance to get back to 500 before this half ends. And I think the Barnstormers are probably rather happy they don't see him again this half.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Rogers pops this up. Castile starts after it but won't have a play.
The only thing is, Lancasters are going to have to keep their focus because going to Long Island is not an easy drive in the park.
They face the aces. They get Larkins and Perry this weekend and next.
Ooh.
And they are the top 2 starters for the Ducks in 2018. Right-hander Matt Larkins, left-hander Bennett Perry. Here's a 2-2. Just off the inside corner. Rogers will bat with a full count. Left side infielders have now dropped back a little bit. The payoff pitch, ground ball yanked foul. We're seeing an at-bat like so many others in this series. What's interesting now is if the Barnstormers have a narrow lead, get a look at Sam Nervasio. Always know it's him with that hat almost sideways. The Barnstormers have a narrow lead tomorrow night at Long Island. Who's going to close? Reynolds has had a couple of long appearances in a row, back-to-back nights. I doubt he'll be available.
And Schumann won't be available.
Schumann won't be available. I think the honor will go to Munson. That would be my guess. 3-2. Now to Rogers, and the pitch is ball 4. The bases are loaded for Tolle.
Well, I can only hope that Ross is put in that position. He has to use a closer.
2 for 2 with 2 walks for Tolle in the game. And again, a left-handed pitcher has not retired him in this series. Anything hit, in all likelihood, is going to come to the plate. Popped up. This might help if Coronado can get there. Sprinting over toward the tarp. And that ball carries all the way back into the seats. A lot deeper into the seats than I thought it ever had a chance to.
Yeah.
1 strike to Tolley. Coronado getting in position, and then all of a sudden that's about 7 rows back.
He had a long way to run because, as you mentioned right before the pitch, that they were up wanting to cut off a potential run. And you always have that tarp to contend with, and then the cement wall, steps.
0-1 pitch, breaks low. Ball 1, strike 1. Even these left-on-left matchups in this series, you don't see that breaking ball being chased. You don't see it being taken for strikes. They're on it. They might foul it off. Popped up again. Coronado darts over. This one's going to stay in play on the apron. He'll grab it. That's a huge first out.
Very much so.
Reynolds wins this battle. Jonathan Galvez is already grounded into 1 double play tonight. Reynolds could use a second and keep the Barnstormers within 1.
Yeah, if you can minimize the damage to just 1 run, that will be a big turn of events for Lancaster.
Galvez does have 2 hits and an RBI tonight. And, oh, by the way, 8 putouts out in left field. Popped up, but I don't think Castile has a chance. He will not.
Oh, I need that to bounce down right in front of us and come straight back.
You got your ice cream. Stop complaining.
Well,
it'll happen sooner or later. Breaking ball is inside. What's that saying? You give enough monkeys enough typewriters, one of them will eventually create War and Peace.
That's too long of a book.
Bases loaded with 1 out. A ball and a strike on Galvez. And a fastball is too close, 2-1.
I think I lost interest when I got page 2.
That was me with David Copperfield, but I had to read it for 7th grade. There were some authors along the way that I have considered to be too wordy. And Dickens was one of them. 2 balls and a strike. Just get to the heart of the matter. I'm a math guy, doggone it. I want the plot. 3-1 now.
I need pictures, though, to give me some visualization.
Brignac, Romero, and Rogers are on board. Matt Reynolds working 3-1 to Jonathan Galvez, and that's ball 4. It forces home a run. Brignac is across. It's 5-3 now, and Jamar Walton bats with the bases loaded. Reynolds was sensational as a Barnstormer 2 years ago. Now Matt is getting into it a little bit with Silvio Martinez. Obviously a frustrating couple of nights for Reynolds. Walton is 1 for 4 with an RBI. This has been a rough series. The Barnstormers have done all right offensively, but it's just been an incredibly frustrating series for the pitching staff, and I guess most notably the closer Reynolds, who had just been fabulous coming into these last 2 nights. 1 out, bases stay loaded, 2 runs are home, and here is Walton.
I thought maybe Ross would have come out.
They got Walton and then Guillen. Ball 1 is high and inside here. I'll go back through and figure out exactly how many pitches the Barnstormers have thrown in this series. Walton fouls it away. A ball and a strike, but tonight's over 170. Last night got to 203 in 10 innings, and the first game of the series, I believe, was up around 180. Lancaster pitching has walked 7. That's screamed into right field, a base hit, and pretty much is going to put this game away. Romero scores. Rogers on his tail. He'll come across as well. 7-3. A 4-run inning off of Reynolds. And still just the one out with Osney Guillen coming in. Second and third runs batted in of the night for Walton. He's knocked in 6 in the series, and here comes Ross. Boy, this is more than generally is scored on Matt Reynolds in 2 months here. But
yeah.
He has a rough outing. Only gets 1 out. Has given up 4 hits and 4 runs, 2 walks. And we're going to have Steven Johnson take over. Steven Johnson to work to Osney Guillen, and then barring a double play, Vinny Sienna. 7-3 in favor of the New Britain Bees. A 4-run 9th inning. Guillen drives a foul the other way. 4 hits, 4 runs given up by Reynolds, and Galvez and Walton are his responsibilities. Prior to last night, Reynolds was 10 for 10 in saves. He had given up just 2 runs all year.
Wow. Well,
ground ball second could end the inning. Noel Frias back to first. A good stretch by Hobson and a double play. Steven Johnson gets it done on just 2 pitches. Noel and Frias have been very good as a double play combo in this series. Hobson with the good stretch and out of the inning, but 4 runs are home. The Barnstormers have a tall order ahead of them. I didn't think we'd see this guy again tonight. He threw 44 pitches over 2 innings last night. Sam Hervasio back out there. They switched off from Evan Scribner once the lead grew to 4. No longer a save situation. Steele, Robinson, and Desmay do in the 9th inning. And, of course, Ross Peoples has his full bench. He's got Portnick, he's got De La Rosa, and he has Garcia.
Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you. I didn't think we would see Hervasio after last night.
We'll see if maybe the Barnstormers can catch him a little bit off his game. Here's Castile. He has a home run and a double tonight, along with a fly out the left. 2 out of 3 for him. Hervasio to the plate, and Castile takes a strike. Since he hasn't had a 3-hit game all year, he'll take the walk. 0-1 from Hervasio. Next offering, ground ball pulled to the shortstop. Easy play for Reed Brignac, and 1 out. Two painful top halves of the 9th inning in this series, and New Britain has done a great job scoring multiple runs, getting the big hits. That has been kind of the MO. They've hit incredibly well in this series with runners in scoring position. That cooled off a little bit tonight. Trayvon Robinson, the batter, he singled in a run back in the 4th inning. Strike to the outer edge. It's 0-1. And ultimately, Eric, you're not left with any what ifs in this game.
No.
What if we had driven in the run in the 8th inning? Well, we still go to Reynolds.
Yeah.
Can't necessarily assume the results would have been any different.
It's amazing, though. I mean, New Britain just bookends the 1st and 9th innings with runs, and then in between, Lancaster pitching, doing a pretty nice job of keeping them quiet. Yeah, they had a couple of base runners, but
Robinson, hard hit ground ball. That is smothered by a seated Jason Rogers. He throws to first. Hervasio loses the crooked hat, but holds the baseball. 3-1. It looked awkward, but in the long run, effective. 2 outs, and Desmay is the scheduled hitter. Jason Rogers could have gotten hurt fielding it like that.
Yeah, he started to do a split.
He gets 0 style points.
It's all about the end result.
Very, very bad score from the French judge. Outside to Desmay, ball 1, 1-0. Grant's hit 2 long fly ball outs in this game. He has also struck out. The Barnstormers 1 out away from being swept here at home by the New Britain Bees. As the Bees return the favor, the Barnstormers swept them in their yard about a month ago. 4 weeks ago. 1-1 to Grant. 2 outs, nobody on base. Nate Coronado, the on-deck hitter for the Barnstormers. Hervasio to the plate, that's fouled off, and now Lancaster is 1 strike from being vanquished. And I'll tell you, Wally Backman set up very well for the next series.
Yeah. We will see them one more time on TV, Sunday, July 29th.
Here's a 1-2 offering. Desmay breaks his bat, lines to Brignac, and it's over. The Barnstormers have been swept by the New Britain Bees here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Bees have won 5 in a row. The Barnstormers are now very much in a pennant race in the Freedom Division. Sugarland leading tonight 3-1. It could be just a 3-game lead going into the weekend. We'll rejoin you here on Blue Ridge Cable 11. Come Monday night, the Somerset Patriots will be in town. In the meanwhile, join us on the Barnstormers YouTube channel. The Lancaster Barnstormers visit the Long Island Ducks for a 3-game weekend series. And then 7 o'clock at Monday, the Barnstormers will be back home. Now for my partner Eric May and all the cast and crew here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.